We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but we them nothing but Niners.
Click, boom! What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, guys, and we are here with a really fun show, man. I'm excited about this one, man. It's going to be a quick hitter. If you guys have gotten used to these long 2-3 hour shows that we've been bringing y'all, we spoiled you. We're going to try to get back to the regularly scheduled program, bring you guys something shorter. Maybe we'll save those longer joints for the weekend. I know a lot of you guys were really thankful for it, but we'll bring it back to you guys as soon as we can. But before we do all that stuff, we have to go through some formalities before we get you this fun show, man, all right? So, guys, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, okay? This is going to be the best thing that you can do to help us, okay? Now, we don't ask you guys for much, but if you guys can hit that like button, make sure you subscribe. That's going to help other people find us. We appreciate you guys doing that here on the YouTube page, okay? Hit us up on Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are nothing but 9 ERS. That's the number 9 in there, nothing but 9 ERS. We have a Facebook as well as Instagram. That is nothing but Niners. Like you guys heard it in the song, right? You heard it in the intro. Nothing but Niners. Y'all heard it in there, man. Spelled out all the way, no numbers in their spaces in between. That's Facebook and Instagram. We have 2 different websites for you guys. The first one is www.nothingbutniners.com, okay? You're going to get articles, our podcasts, our videos, and everything about us is all going to be right there. That is going to be the place to be. We have another website where you can get some apparel. Breezy, show that joint off, man. Show that joint off, Breezy. Hold on. Let me look at that. Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about, all right? Y'all see it right there. That is going to be shop nb9ers.com. Again, at a shop nb9ers.com. We got some dope stuff up there. More stuff coming to you guys. I'm not even going to tell y'all what's over there. You just got to go check it out, okay? Also, guys, I want you guys to do us a favor. You got questions, comments, concerns, you guys can send us an email, okay? It's going to be nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com. That is our email address, guys. It is nb9ers@nothingbutniners, spelled all the way out, .com. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL. And to my left on your screen, but to my right in real life, is my man Breezy, 49ers Breezy. That's with the IE on Twitter. What's up, big dog?
What's good, Mikey Nike? What's going on, baby? Hey, man, we back, man. It feels good to be back, man. Definitely want to make sure we keep these Wednesday shows going on. You know what I'm saying? You got to give them something, some adrenaline rush throughout the week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. What they be saying? What's this song? Let's give them something to talk about. Let's go.
Hey. Yeah, they don't know about that, man. That was the 90s. But nah, for real though, man. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on. I know we're going to talk about some news that's going on in 49ers camp and some NFL news. I don't know if you heard today, before you get with the 49ers news, about the virtual training. It got extended to the end of May. So people cannot get together May 15th like they thought that they would. They will have to wait till at the end of May when it gets reassessed, man. And if you guys haven't been following the 49ers, shame on you, right? Because, guys, who knows? If you listen to John Lynch, he said, hey, man, we might be looking to be training at a different spot in a different state. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to get our guys in there. So they might be going on to Arizona. Take it how you want it. That's how it might go. So, yeah, man, Mike, what you got for the fans out there?
Yeah, you know, on that last talking point there, you know, the state of California seems adamant and not rushing this opening thing. They're not gonna put, you know, when you have some, there's like 5 or 6 states that have like the majority of the population in the country. Those guys are going to try to be a little bit more careful. California being one of them, man. They're just trying to take this as smooth and slow and calm as possible, and it's the right thing to do. I think I'm not saying that they shouldn't open stuff up. What I'm saying is just to be smart about it. Whether you agree that we should be rushing this stuff back, or if you think that we should be staying as quarantined as long as possible, I don't care about how you think about it. As long as there's logic behind what you guys are doing, I'm all for it. And the Niners are thinking, hey, look, man, business is opening all over the place. We have to do something for our team. And so if that means we have to go somewhere else, then guess what? Be out of here, man. And I agree with it. I agree with it.
I definitely agree with it too, Mike. And like you said, listen, man, some states have to be smart, right? Because the risk is still too high. There's still a lot of people suffering out there from the coronavirus. You know, it's weird because on the West Coast, California takes up like 85% of the West Side, right? And then you get like
Oregon's up there.
yeah,
Yeah,
Oregon,
Washington.
and then I didn't want to say Washington, but yeah, that state too. And then you got Oregon and stuff like that. But on the East Side, you know what I'm saying? It's like Maine and then down. But New York, because that's where it's over, super populated, it controls like Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New Jersey, Massachusetts. Like it's crazy, man. So yeah, man. Los Angeles not open until August. I see that up there. Yeah, it's gonna be real, man. It's gonna be real going into football season. But Mike, you got some news, man. Our boy Matt Mayako is out there writing for everybody and making sure he's pumping out stuff daily for us, man. So let's talk about some of the things he got going on, man.
Yeah, some news directly related to the 49ers. There's a tweet as well as an article. You guys can go check it out. The article is titled "Sources Retired Staley to Count $2 million Against the 49ers Cap Space." Now that begs the question because he retired. Why is his retirement costing the team anything, right?
Right.
There's theories about that. We'll come back to that. But in his tweet, he says that with the new cap numbers that came out today, the 49ers are at $16.3 million, which means there's plenty of money out there for us to go ahead and extend our number one tight end in George Kittle. Breezy, what are your thoughts on that, man? Like, give me thoughts on why do you think Joe Staley's retirement cost the team $2 million, and also let me know what you think about let me know what you think about this cap space, man. Do you think Kittle's deal gets done?
All right, so the Joe Staley situation is costing the 49ers $2 million. I'm not sure I understand that.
Yeah.
So for them to save $10 million, they paying out $2 million. All right. So I think the 49ers decided to say, hey, man, and if you look at Joe Staley's retirement clause, it's due to, it says injury. It's some wording and some legal stuff in there, and he will be brought back for a ceremonial retirement. Like I did read that too, right? So they're going to put Joe Staley in that ring of fire for the 49ers, right? But listen, the best part about this situation and it is the fact that the 49ers got some dough. All right.
Sir. Mm-hmm.
So we got some bread, we got some biscuits, we got some moolah, we got some whatever you want to call money. Now listen, just listening to everything that John Lynch has been talking about, man. Look, George Kittle was like number one priority, like going forward, yo. I mean, everybody else is in some type of weird deal or whatever like that, but Kittle is priority, public enemy, whatever you want to call it. He number one. All right, he is number one, and I just don't think that John Lynch is going to bite the ball. Now, here's what makes the situation hard, man, and I got some questions, man, because this season right here, my brothers and sisters, this season right here is going to be an awkward season for money and contracts. Why do I say that? Well, the pandemic. The pandemic is going to cause an epidemic, right? Because you're going to have a problem when the owners aren't making any freaking money, right? Now, they're still going to make their dough. Players get paid, TV contract, money, all that good stuff, blah, 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 blah. But what happens if that number doesn't go where they expected it to go? Now, if I'm George Kittle, right? Now, if I'm Kittle, I'm on the phone with my agent, say, listen, man, see what they're talking about. Get me a deal. Because here's the question for you, Mike. If the owners aren't making any money, what are the chances of owners and general managers signing players to these long deals, these big long deals, if there's no money really coming in, there's no revenue coming in? Do you see that? That's part A, but part B is, will there be a lot of one-year contracts going into 2021?
Right. So look, both are really, really good questions. And I think the simple answer is it's going to come down to contract language. I think we're going to start seeing some contracts being written based on a percentage of the salary cap as opposed to a significant number. The reason is because the salary cap for this year was set from what happened last year. So what's going to happen this year won't affect the salary cap for this year. It's going to affect what the salary cap is in the future. And so the team can sit here and try to hope and guess and whatever. What they were talking about how the NFL already lost money because they couldn't do the draft the way they were supposed to. Now with preseason, for example, I know it's not a big thing. They don't sell out preseason tickets, right? But they still sell preseason tickets. It's still money coming in. It's still people out there and buying stuff and the concessions, right? So they're talking about the money that might not be coming in. It's temporary, but it's how it can affect. I think that if there are big contracts to be written, you might see some of them as a percentage of the salary cap as opposed to just a flat out X amount of dollars. These guys are still going to make some money. They're just not going to make it the way that they're used to making it. You know, it's a minor setback. So yeah, I think that was the first part of the question, and the second one was what was the second part of the question?
Do you think that you're going to see a lot of 1-year contracts for 2021?
Okay.
1 year, incentive base, all that good stuff.
I think. All right. My short answer is yes. Because if teams are not going to do the percentage, and they're going to say, hey, look, man, the cap is going to crash next year. We're not going to be able to afford to keep you. This is going to be what we can offer you. Players are going to be like, yeah, nah, I'll take a 1-year deal, and then you can renegotiate when we see how it is after that at the end of the following season. So, yeah, I think that could be something that we see. You know, 1-year deals with a second-year option. You know what I mean? And that option can be the bounce back year and things like that. You know what I mean? And really quick, just to double back on something, Joe Staley's $2 million. I found out, I opened up the article here. He gets $1 million as an injury settlement. I don't know if you remember, but during his little, you know, announcement that he was retiring, he mentioned about the neck injury, right? So he gets $1 million for that. And the other thing was a prorated signing bonus. All right. So that's where the $2 million come from. So shout outs to our guy, Matt Mayoko, for the hard work, research, and getting that article out to us and all. But yeah, man, so those are two really good questions, though, man. I do think that we're going to see some backlash from it, but not a lot. I don't think it's going to be super bad. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be super bad.
And see, that's the devil's advocate in me, right? So here you go, right? You have this happening because this can be a real life situation, right? This can be backlash hell, right? So we all love George Kittle, but we all know what George Kittle, because this question was originated around George Kittle, not all the other 25 players we're going to have going into free agency. But what happens? Like, we know what value he is to this team. We know he's making peanuts. We know he's under contract, rookie contract right now, making what, $3 million or something like that. It's not a lot of money, right? Right. It's not a lot. But my point is, he does way more than what he's making now. This is where it gets tricky, guys, because God forbids in his contract season, which will be next year, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? Be his 4th year. God forbid, though, that happens. I'm not going to say it, but God forbid it happens. Shoot. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, shoot. So it's like, if I'm John Lynch, I'm trying to find a way to extend him now. I got money to extend a player. It should be him, because you want him safe in the bag and ready to play football. You don't want his agent nagging him in the ear. Yo, he's the best tight end in the league. He's putting up wide receiver numbers. He's a tight end he got back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. All right, so it's not like we can't say his production is great, and he plays injured. So we gotta figure something out. If I'm John, I'm trying to figure out a way to get it done now. And I think that's exactly what Parag Marathe, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, George Kittle, and his agent are currently trying to do. And I think that's what they're trying to do. All right, so
I think a deal definitely is imminent. I think it gets done. And one more thing I want to say too, and this is going to be I'm not going to say it's going to be controversial, but it could be if you take it the wrong way, right? We as fans have to separate our love for the players versus realizing that we're watching an entire business exchange. Everything about the NFL is all business, from your production, tickets and seat. It's just one big business, right? So the reason I'm saying that is this. I know people are like, you got to pay George Kittle. as a George Kittle supporter and as a guy who sides with the players more than the business, I agree. However, if they don't get George Kittle extended this year and he can threaten to hold out and all that stuff, whatever, the purpose of the draft is to get good players on the cheap. Otherwise, we would just be signing free agents every single year. There wouldn't be a draft. It would be guys out there and free agents and inflated dollars, and it's a bidding war for everybody, right? The purpose of the draft is hoping that you can find some gold and keep them here for 3 or 4 years on the low. That's really what it is. So I'm not saying that George Kittle shouldn't get extended. I'm not saying that he won't get extended. I do think it's going to happen. But if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. That's it. That's my take on it. Now, I see we have a contribution here from Mark Espinoza. We thank you for the contribution. He says, playing devil's advocate here, what if the tight end we picked up is to replace Kittle? Both weren't big on passing night college, but both are great blockers. What if we decide to ship Kittle off for a first rounder? I would say no. I would say that would not be wise. I don't think that the team will. Well, go ahead, Breezy. Let me hear your thoughts first.
Well, I don't see them, to tag back on to what you were saying about George Kittle right now, and so what Mark is saying. Thank you for the contribution too, Mark, by the way. I just don't see them trying to find a way to move on from George Kittle. I'm not saying no one's expendable. But they didn't trade, and guys, you can smack me if you want. No, you can't. I'll smack you back. But what I'm trying to say is they did not trade Jerry Rice until he was out of his prime. And I'm not trying to say George Kittle is Jerry Rice, but I'm just saying that George Kittle can be that generational type player, that a player you can continue to build on. Why? Because he can pass block and run block. So that's a guy you want in your system, and he's a dog, right? So I don't know, man. I know Mike said that, they can move on for players. You're absolutely right. And they do want to get guys in the draft to play on low. But I feel like when you get that player that you just, we watched Tom Brady not get let go by the Patriots for umpteen years. I'm not comparing Kittle to Brady to Rice as far as stature. I'm just talking about as far as what they brought. Tom Brady was a 7th round pick. And the dude played 20 years, 21 years with New England.
Was he a 6th round?
Sixth round. He was 199, whatever 199 is, right? So that was Brady, and George Kittle went in the 5th round. You got him on the low. He proved himself, right? That's what getting guys on the low is all about. Because we're gonna be paying Drake. We're gonna be paying Greenlaw soon too. We're talking about. Fred Warner is this year. Wait, I forgot about Freddie Fred.
Fred Warner getting that dough, bro.
Freddie gonna come in with the boom, 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 right? I'm telling you, Fred got to get paid, and then Greenlaw got to get paid in a couple of years. Listen, man, I think that the 49ers know what they're doing. I don't like talking numbers because I can't be I'm not spot on with numbers and contracts. That's the Tony thing.
And the numbers change based off of the salary cap changing. So
plus,
when we're talking about, a tight end getting $16 million, right? It sounds crazy and like it's nonsense to us right now, right? But if the salary cap, if it weren't for this pandemic and the salary cap was growing at the pace they thought it was going to be, it's going to be almost $300 million in the next 5 or 10 years. You understand what I'm saying? That. So then that 16 million doesn't look like that much. It's a drop in the bucket. I don't think he's going to make that much. I'm just saying that if we were to see it, it's not so much that it's, it's not, it's crazy right now because the highest paid tight end ain't getting 12. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying that it's something that, talking cap numbers or talking contracts is really a shot in the dark. Some people really enjoy trying to figure it out and all that, but it's not really worth it. Is he going to be the highest paid tight end in the league? I think the answer is yes. I do think the answer is yes. And I don't think he blows it out the water by X amount of millions a year, though. That's all.
Yeah, you said that the 49ers got about 16 million right now, 16.3, I think, in their salary
Mhm.
cap. And I think they make him an offer to where he's making $15 million a year. And at this point, why not pay him? Like, why not? So we'll save that for another show because that's not what this show is all about. But shout out to my man Brian Gamble. To me, Kittle is a one in a lifetime generational player. All right. You saw the previous year how many tight ends were drafted to duplicate what we did, pay them in. Hey man, like tight ends are not easy to find. Okay, and that's I'm gonna leave it at that. Tight ends are not easy to find. Not the dynamic tight ends that we've had. Like, we could talk about dynamic tight ends because I could probably go back to Shannon Sharp. I mean, I could go back deeper than that, but I'm talking about dynamic, far as whatever. Shannon Sharp era, right? Then you had the era after that with Tony Gonzalez, and we saw Jimmy Graham be sensational at one point, running vertical routes. Then came Gronk, right? And now you got Kittle. I mean, Kittle going against Kelsey. All right, that's just what we have
Kittle,
right
Kelsey,
now.
Ertz. Those are the three.
Yeah, Kittle,
big
Kelsey,
names.
Ertz, exactly. And a lot of people don't like Ertz, but I think people are silly for saying that. But I get it. That's where we're going. And if you look at the trend in college,
Gates. I see you, Collie. Yep.
these players are trying to, and sorry, Antonio Gates, my bad, Khalil. Yep, Antonio Gates, my fault. You know what I'm saying? But see, and to me, Antonio Gates was more of like a hands finesse guy. Like he wasn't. Antonio Gates reminds me of Brent Jones. That's exactly who he reminded me of. He caught every freaking pass, played with broken turf toes, right, and made plays, and he was the best weapon for Phillip Rivers. All right. So, but Kittle is different. Kittle's more dynamic. Like so. That's the X factor. Kittle has an X factor, and that's what tight ends are trying to be when they go into college, yo. So I can see them giving them 15. If they do, we're gonna have to live with it and say okay. All right. So let's move on from George Kittle. Brian, thank you so much for the comment, man. We truly appreciate that, man. All right. So a couple of questions just to throw out here. We'll try to get to these questions throughout the show, but I did have an email, Mike, before we get into the show because people probably want to know what the hell we're gonna talk about today, and I try to put it in the caption, but on Twitter, please make sure you follow me at 49ers Breezy right down there, right? All right, I post questions now. That does not mean that my sentence or syntax structure is perfect because I do this shit first thing in the morning, right? So that means whatever comes out, how it comes out is the way you're gonna get it. But most of you guys know me by now, so you understand how I'm saying what I'm saying. I guess I wrote this question and it was about I think this particular person, my man Sean Taylor, shout out to you for emailing me. I think he kind of copied me and pasted what I wrote, but I feel like something is missing because I thought I double checked this edit. But he said, I think I wrote, I guess I'll never understand the disrespect for our quarterback. And most importantly, how he led his team with a 13-3 record to get the Super Bowl 54. I just don't get it. Plus, his stats and his numbers and all this type of stuff, whatever. So he responded to me and he wrote this. And I want to know what you guys think, Mike, and then everybody else, right? We'll spend about 5 minutes on this. He wrote this. Sean says, don't you think you have it wrong, the wrong way? It should be your second ranked defense that carries you to the Super Bowl. After all, your passing offense was ranked 13. To put it in perspective, the Dolphins' passing offense was ranked 12, but the Dolphins didn't have a defense like yours. They finished ranked 29th and ended up with a 5-11 record. And then he posted now, this quarterback had the 31st ranked defense the season before, and he was D4 and D4 offside. So we already know who he's talking about. He's talking about this guy, Pat Mahomes, right? All right, so let's talk about this question, Mike. Mike, you go, and then I want to hear what they have to say about that. Because, again, I just still feel there's disrespect for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, so I wanted to try to pull up the rest of the passing leaders. Let me see if I can.
Oh, you on it. All right, while you do that, I'm going to read Sean's comment.
This is right here. I'm sorry. Let me go on mute so I can think out loud because I work better that way. I'm sorry.
All right, Sean, shout out to you for your contribution, my brother. Look at the other tight ends that came out after Kittle from his school, Noah Fant and the other guy. They were first-round picks, and they still haven't produced. You know what, Sean? Let's talk about that while Mike is on brain fart thought, right? All right, so let's talk. Hockenson. TJ Hockenson and Noah Fant. Correct. Both tight ends produced in college, but when they got to the NFL, now, Sean, can I play devil's advocate with you, my brother? Can I please play devil's advocate? Can we talk about their systems? Fant was a Bronco and Hockenson was a Lion. Do you think that may have affected their play just a little bit? Just to throw the question back out there to you, I would love for you. Don't have to pay for another contribution. Just put your answer in here. I'll find it and I'll post it up here. But do you think that might have affected it? But they also struggle with injuries and things like that. And it could just show you that Kyle Shanahan is just a mother sucker, right? Like he just knows how to, like he is just a genius. He can take clay and turn it into rocks or whatever you want to say, like how you want to say it. Like he's just that great. All right. Uh, did you get your answers, Mike? All right, go ahead.
All right, so I was trying to find out what metric this person says that the Niners were ranked 13th in passing in. So I'm not quite sure what that is, because if it's yards, we were only ranked like 20th last year in yards per game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if this includes the postseason, because if it does, then that really hurt our numbers. But so rushing, we were second, right? And the reason I'm mentioning rushing in this is because there's only so many yards you can accumulate in a game, and people have to stop ignoring the fact that the Niners had the number 2 rushing team in the NFL. And the only reason we weren't number 1 is because they have a quarterback that
Correct.
gets running back type yards. So when he used the Buffalo Bills, it was Buffalo, right? He said, or was it Miami Dolphins?
He was talking about the Dolphins.
Okay. So when he used the Miami Dolphins as, oh, well, they were ranked, 1 spot higher than the Niners in passing yards. Well, that's because the Dolphins were 1, playing from behind, and 2, ranked dead last in rushing yards in the league. So it's not, you get what I'm saying? Like
I do.
You can't sit here and say, oh, well, the Niners didn't have that good of a quarterback. No, we had a hell of a run game, a good defense, and a good passing game. We were good on all sides of the ball, It's easy to put up a lot of passing yards if you suck at rushing or if you're always playing from behind. The Niners didn't have that benefit. There weren't a lot of games where the Niners were trailing for large portions of the game. The Saints game comes to mind off the top of my head. We were down by 2 or 3 scores in that game, but really, what other game was there where the Niners were trailing and had to really fight and dig their way out, right? But the Dolphins don't have that luxury. 72 rushing yards a game for the Dolphins. The Niners finished the season with more than double that. We had 153 rushing yards a game. So Jimmy can't throw for 500 yards a game while we're rushing for 153.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
It's impossible. Right. This is not college, guys. Like this is not college spread offense, football, whatever, where you could just do that. Nah, man, it's not the same. But Jimmy G did have some games where he had to throw that ball, man. Like and how look, we talk about Jimmy G's areas where he needs to improve. Shout out to our brothers from 49ers Hive. They said that they broke down where he needs to improve and things like that. I mean, all quarterbacks need to improve. All players need to improve, right? That's what they should be working on in the offseason. We did see Jimmy G's interception rate pretty high, but I'm going to go back to what John and Kyle said about that. I'm going to go back to what Kyle said, give me a quarterback that's willing to be a risk taker. Give me a guy that's going to take some chances. Now, from the way we see it, right, it's like, oh, he didn't see that guy. He was wide open. I think somebody sent me an email too and broke down all the guys that were wide open in a still shot. And I'm like, dude, it's a still shot. Like the play is still going on in live action. So that means he might have been open for a point of a second, but if he would have threw it, it could have got picked. It could have got tipped. Like, come on, guys. No still shots. Give me, like, come on. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, we gotta sit here, and this is not a stick up for Jimmy G show. This is just a question that I asked on Twitter, my personal account, and I just wanted to bring it to you guys because, like, he's just not gonna ever get respect. Until he takes that monkey off his back, and that's coming, right? As soon as that monkey gets off his back, Jimmy G won't ever be respected. He can go 16-0.
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, the defense carried you 10 games. Yep. Oh, the running game carried you the other 6 games. So it is the way it is, guys. That's gonna be something that we have to accept. And I think that's what's going to keep fueling the fire for Jimmy Garoppolo.
JL Chapman posted a tweet, and it was every intercepted pass that came off of a wide receiver's hands.
Ooh.
From Jimmy Garoppolo, and it was 6, 7, or 8. It was up there.
Dag.
Bare minimum was 6 passes. Now, not all the passes were perfect, right? Not all of them were clean, right? But We've had arguments on the show where if it hit the wide receiver's hands, he should have came down with it, right?
Everybody's coach taught them that, man. That's what the
Okay.
coaches teach.
So you take away 6 of his interceptions. Those are drive killing plays.
Yeah.
1, his yards go up because that drive continues, right? You get what I'm saying? Man, I'm not even going. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was a lot of passes that came. It was just JL Chapman. You guys, JL_CHAPMA.
That's my guy, man. Yeah, shout out to him, man.
He had a whole video of them all, and I don't know if he quote tweeted it onto my timeline or if it was actually his video, but I know I saw it because of him. So if you guys look at JL Chapman's his Twitter feed, you'll see it. But the only thing that was in that entire clip were balls off of someone else's hands going into the opponent's hands. The Steelers game, there was 2 of them. 2. People were saying how bad Jimmy's game was against the Steelers. And to me, I remember at that point in time, that was my favorite performance with Jimmy Garoppolo. I thought he was killing it. It was a lot of bad and unfortunate turnovers. But I was like, bro, he didn't have that bad of a game if it weren't for those bobbled passes and the fumbles and stuff. But, people were killing him. But either way, Jimmy's a good quarterback, man. People got to get off his back. There was a one game where Kyle Shanahan, this has nothing to do with interceptions, but the drops. Remember that one game Shanahan said they accounted for over 108 yards of drop passes in the one game? And there was a stat that I saw on Twitter again. Oh, it was him and there was one other quarterback. He was in second place. And it showed like 60. God dang it. What was it? It was 60 like yards worth of drop passes, assuming that there was no run after the catch. It was him and one. The Buffalo Bills dude. The Buffalo Bills guy.
Who's their quarterback?
Josh Allen. Him and Josh Allen had the most yards per drops, and that was based off of not even yards after the catch, just touching them in the hands where it was. So, nah, man. If our quarterback is throwing six, I'm going to say 6 because it's the minimal number. I said it was 6, 7, or 8, but let's just say it was 6. If he's throwing 6 interceptions because of someone else, and if he led the league with drop passes, that's because of someone else. How can you fault this guy and he still fell short of 4,000 yards? Like, come on, man. Jimmy about to light the league up this year, bro. It's unfortunate that he's about to do the league something dirty, but he deserves it. He's going to deserve to give the league a big force fistful right up they mother. You know what I'm trying to say, guys. It's gonna be a problem. Did we read Chrissy's comment? Jimmy G 50% on third down conversions. How many of those close games do we lose without that? Chrissy, I don't understand why that doesn't get talked about more. They put it up there, they show it, and it goes away like it never happens. You got to be a really diehard 49er fan, to even remember that. You know what I mean? But even us fans don't remember that. Even us fans don't be like, oh, he was great on third down. He's for 50%. They don't remember that. They don't. I got excited about something when I realized it today. So you know how you're either a Patriots fan or you hate the Patriots, right? You couldn't wait for them to lose because they were just so good. They were so good you couldn't wait for them to lose. However, Tom Brady was always respected. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Brady and Belichick, right? So here's the thing, right? I think the Niners are quickly being recognized as that next type of team.
Dynasty?
Yes.
Did I not say that? Did I not say that all last year? I hate when I have to reference us, not to cut you off, Mike, to the Patriots, but there's a reason why I keep referencing us to that team. Look, I've been a 49er fan since 86, okay? I go all the way back, and I remember those good times, but there wasn't TV time like there is now. There wasn't social media like there is now. I got to witness, in living color, what the Patriots did starting their dynasty in the early 2000s, right? For 20 years, y'all, they reigned supreme. I feel that is exactly the blueprint. And even better, you got to understand what Kyle is doing. It's gonna be crazy. Mike, please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good, man. But my point is that people are going to continue to hate on it. So look, this is the thing, right? Brady, his phenomenal plays throughout his career started to take a back seat to, oh wow, is this the downfall? Is this the year? Is this the year where he falls off? You know what I mean? The Patriots lost in week 4 to the Chiefs. Is this the year that they don't make the play? That's what's going to happen to us, and we have to be prepared for it as a fan base. People are expecting us to be good, and so the good stuff ain't going to be in the headlines. We're sitting here like we're finally coming up. Hey, where's our praise? Where's our praise? That's not it. That's not what's going to happen. They're expecting us to be good, so now they're going to be looking for and celebrating our downfall. They're going to be anticipating our downfall the entire time. So that's that. You know what I mean? It's just be prepared for it, guys. They are looking at us at a different light already. So
yeah, the lens is definitely different. All right, man. 30 minutes into our show, Mike. Let's go ahead and kick off what we came to talk about. Now on Twitter, you got people putting out there 49ers hashtag their team. And then they have some categories: most overrated, most underrated, best player, key new addition. I felt like singing a song from New Edition. Could surprise, takes a leap, and then the prove it year, right? So those are all the categories. And what Mike and I are going to do, and I'm sure the other guys will probably go ahead and send their stuff in and at a later time, we're going to go ahead and talk about each of these. We picked one player for category. Now, Mike, you can't have no tweeners. Because Mike be like, this guy and this guy, no, pick one. Got to be one. Now I'm hoping that we don't have the same players. Like I'm hoping we don't. And I'm trying to figure out a way where Mike goes first, I go first, somebody goes second, so that way we can,
Yeah, we can alternate. Alternate.
So we'll alternate. All right. So let's rock, paper, scissors, shoot on the camera, and that'll be who's gonna go first. All right.
Winner goes first.
Winner goes first. Best out of one. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Rock, papers.
Oh shit.
All right, just go ahead. Ready? 5, 1, 2, ready, go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Shit.
Damn. All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I don't even know what this is. So
all right, you got the scissors. You got it,
right. Bro. I couldn't even get my other finger out.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh man, we crazy. All right, so most overrated. I get to go first, man. All right, listen. He was the first round draft pick in 2018. He was pick number 9. His 2019 season, he had 777 offensive snaps. He was 50th ranked. Whew. He had 6 penalties, tied for 35. He gave up 5 sacks, tied for 26. His overall grade was a 67.5. His pass blocking grade was a 70.5, and his run blocking grade was a 67.2. So, ladies and gentlemen, my most overrated player on the 49ers is right tackle Mike McGlinchey.
All right. Okay. I like that pick a lot, especially because the guy that I would have loved to name in this segment got traded to the Colts. But but he's not here. So I like the Mike McGlinchey pick, man. People really do hype him up like he's some world beater and all that. And it's not that he can't be good. We've seen flashes of goodness and things like that. But he's got to be more consistent. I don't know if it was because he was battling back from injury and things like that. But we'll see what happens with him. I'm hoping that he has a bounce back year here, man. I really, really am. Year 3 usually goes well for offensive linemen.
Yeah, like here's the thing that tricks me out about Mike right now. I don't remember him playing in all 17 games last year. Did he play in all 17 games?
No, right. He didn't. Remember that
he got injured.
He missed the game right before our first Seattle game.
Yeah, so I don't know why PFF has his numbers all screwed up. But anyway, his rookie year though, like his rookie year, he was damn productive, right? He was 74. He was ranked 74.8. That was offense grade was 74.8. His pass blocking grade did get better in 2019. It went up 6 points. All right, but here's the kicker: in 2018, ask me what his run blocking grade was, bro.
Can I try to guess it?
Yes.
86.5.
It was 81.2.
Damn.
He dropped almost 20 points in his run blocking, bro. That's a flag, yo. So I got him as most overrated just because he was a first round pick. Yo, I got British Knight shoes too. Don't try to play me. He was a first round pick. Hey, somebody asked me, did I have British Knight shoes? He was a first round pick, yo. Like I got the Adidas shell tops to go with my Kangos. All right. So he was a first round pick, and I'm just wrapped around like, why is this guy, not proven? Like he's overrated.
Okay.
All right, Mike, who you got as your overrated player?
All right, so like I said, I would have loved to name DeForest Buckner here. I've been on a DeForest Buckner. It's overrated to 49er fans, but he's not here, and I wish him well, except for if and when we play them. So that's going to be that. My overrated player is someone, I just want to be clear here. Overrated does not mean that they're not good. So let me get my little, let me cop my pleas now. Okay.
I'm glad you said that.
Right, because overrated does not mean that they're not good. That means that people view them better than what I think they are.
That's overrated.
So that means that they're overrated, right? So my overrated player is going to be on the opposite side of the ball.
Ooh.
He's a defensive player. Guys, it's Richard Sherman.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I said, Ricky, I bet you he's going to pick Richard Sherman, so I'm not going to pick Richard Sherman. I know he's going to pick. I don't know why I knew that. Oh, my gosh.
No, and it's not that he's not good. Richard Sherman is really, really good, but people think that he is better than what he actually is. He benefits from a few number of targets. You know what I mean? And he also benefits from when he blows his coverage and when he's not good, he's not targeted. You know what I'm saying? So it's pros and cons of Richard Sherman, but it's not that he's not good. He is a very good corner, and I want to keep him. I want to extend him, and I want him to stay at corner. I don't want to move him to safety. Okay?
And we want him on the show, guys. So tell him to come on the show. But he's overrated.
That's all overrated. He's really, really good, and I know that PFF had him ranked like the number one corner or something like that.
Bro, 90.29 or something like that. He's high up there.
And I love Sherm. I swear to y'all, I love him. I just got him as my most overrated player. That's all. I don't want to trash him or nothing like that.
He's still the best DB on the team, guys.
Yes.
Like, okay,
yes,
hands down, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I think I get. So what was funny was I was trying to figure out like a player because I didn't know how to define overrated, right? So I was like, yo, does this mean that I'm saying they stink? Or does it like no? And I knew that, but that's what was going through my head. So the first player that came to mind, y'all gonna be mad, but you want to know who the first player I had on my list was? Eric Armstead.
Oh, Eric ain't getting his due, bro.
Yo,
Eric might be the most underrated player on the squad.
I don't know, man. I just think they paid him a lot of money. We about to find out if he's even rated. I tell you what, but that's who I had on my list. Let's read Sean's. Sean is contributing.
Wait. There was one more before Sean. Hold on.
Oh, my bad. That's a new Sean.
Keep your cursor there. I'll find it.
All right. So Sean says, M. Shan deal with the. Whoops.
Oh shit, my bad. I'm sorry.
Is it me or does Breezy look like Teddy with the run to checker, Rex and the effects with the effects about the record, the trap bought the honey shaker, send they back saying booties are the cutie steady shaking, blah, blah, blah. That he ain't getting no money from that. So let me stop singing his rhymes. All right, man. Thank you, Jason. We appreciate you for your contribution. So, that's where Mike was going. Okay.
I was looking for it. That's the one I was looking for. I saw that one up there too.
Is it Neri? Am I saying that right, Neri? All right, man. Thank you for the contribution. Let's talk about how underrated Eric Armstead is.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet, though.
We're not there yet. But I had him at first as overrated, and I kind of took him out. Then it went to Richard Sherman, and then I was like, wait a minute. Mike McGlinchey's overrated. This dude was supposed to be like, come in and just be the sign all heaven, the blocker, run blocker, stuff, whatever. And he's struck, and he's just not rated. He's not bad. He's just not where I thought he should be at this point in his career.
And let me ask you this question. And this is we're getting off on a tangent. And I don't mind, but were you considering him being overrated because people think that the Niners chose him over DeForest Buckner?
See, that's a good question.
Because for the most part, people just didn't really give Eric Armstead any respect. So I'm wondering what in your mind made you think that he would qualify to be overrated. That's all.
So it's almost the same. It's almost the same situation as you qualifying DeForest Buckner as overrated because we talk about production, right? Mm-hmm. And my question is this to you, and I hate to answer your questions with questions. I'm such a bad guy, but my question is: did Eric Armstead benefit because of DeForest Buckner? Now, and that's a question that we're gonna find out. Like, did he benefit in his production, because we saw he struggled the first couple of years. You could say he was out of position, he was out of whatever. Like, he was struggling. Even his rookie year, he just wasn't what we thought he was going to be. Change the defense, get it, totally got it. He was a first round pick. He was supposed to come in and be freaking dominant, and he was soft as Twinkie feelings, right? And then comes Buckner. And I'm like, oh, we drafted another mountain from Oregon. Like, why are we going to Oregon? I was like, and then Buckner started playing. Like, and then I think that said to Eric Armstead, let me get my shit together, because I want to be with this team for a long time. I'm from this area. I want to be here, blah, blah, blah. So my question is, and that could be benefiting in a few ways. Like,
Okay.
I'm hoping that's not what it is, because they signed my man to a contract and he balled the freak out last season. So I'm hoping he comes in and he continues to be productive and be the Eric Armstead. I think Eric Armstead is just going to be better. But I'm sorry, man.
Cool. And now Sean Shepard. Oh, go ahead.
No, Sean Shepard, you read it. You got it.
Yeah, I'm assuming his Mike Shanahan deal with the Niners in the 90s was that he got a copy of every memo, in-house transactions to take with him wherever he went. Denver's turnaround.
So, Sean, are you referring to the cheating parts? Because everybody kept saying the Patriots cheated, this and that and the third. I just want to put this out there. Every NFL team figures some. Every NFL team out there is probably cheating. It's just that the Patriots get caught like that. I just think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, my favorite player of all time used to use Stickum. So, I mean, isn't that cheating or
no?
Okay, I'm just asking.
Stick it. Hey, the stuff that's in these gloves now,
it has Stickum in it.
Have you tried on any of these gloves that they approved?
I got a pair, man. I got like them
joints.
I don't drop shit.
If you spray just a little bit of water on them joints and throw it against the wall, that shit'll stick.
Stick to the wall.
It'll stay right on the wall, bro. I've never seen nothing like it. So I'm not gonna sit there and say it's cheating with the stickum and all that. Odell Beckham making those one-handed catches with the gloves on with his fingertips. He caught a ball with his pinky and his thumb. I ain't trying to hear that. No, it's the damn gloves, bro. No, I'm not trying to hear that. We got N9er Drag. Thank you for the contribution. He says, Mike, I knew you were going to say that. I'm scared teams are going to test him this season because of his late in-season miscues. I don't think they're going to get a chance to test him. I think our defensive line is going to come back with a vengeance, and I think they're going to be even better than they were last year, honestly.
And every team, N9er Drag, don't have the pieces to test a Richard Sherman. I know they're trying to build, but when you looked at if I'm not mistaken, Sherman got burnt 3 times. 3 out of 17 ain't bad.
As far as when he was targeted, right?
As far as when he was targeted. And I don't think that's bad. And I think that's why he was rated so high. But it was always on a receiver. Like, it was Devontae Adams. I think it was Michael Thomas once, right? It was these guys that lined up in a different position, like in a slot or some junk like that. And they came back across the side of his field. And he thought maybe, I don't know if he thought a safety had his back or whatnot. I'm not sticking up for Sherman. I'm just saying, like, usually that's Sherman getting burnt. When they running one-on-one down the sideline, I think his first season I saw him get burnt on one-on-one coverage down the sideline. But this season, I thought he was pretty lights out.
Remember that game?
Yes, I do.
Wait, the game against Tampa from the other. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, we're gonna keep it moving, man. N9er Drag. We'll see what happens this year. I think Sherman will be fine. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll get back to regular play, and I don't think he'll be as risky or taking the risk that he was this past season.
Oh, got you, Sean. What Sean is trying to say is that the 49ers are the blueprint for teams like Mike Shanahan's Denver Broncos and Bill Belichick's New England Patriots. Got you. I totally know where you're coming from. So like I said, every team cheats because they stole our blueprints. All right, so let's get back to the show. Mike, you're going to kick off with the most underrated player.
Yeah, so this is going to be I want to try to stay away from defensive players, but I just couldn't do it with this one here. And I got a little cop out here. My most underrated player is going to be on the defensive side of the ball, but I don't think he's underrated to 49er fans. I think the league has no idea who this guy is. And it's going to be Ronald Blair. If he can come back from his injury, he's one of the more diverse guys on the team. Ronald Blair, in my mind, is exactly what Eric Armstead was this past year. Inside, outside, and good against the run. Just flat out dominant, just needs more opportunities. And I'm not saying that he's going to be as productive as Eric Armstead was as far as like the stats go. But I really, really like Ronald Blair. I hope he can come back from this injury healthy. I see him tweeting and stuff like that, and he's giving me some hope. He's getting me excited. But Ronald Blair is definitely going to be my most underrated player so far.
That's not a bad choice, man. I didn't even think of Ronald Blair, but yo, when he is on the field, his time on the field is so productive. It's like that the 49ers defense doesn't skip a beat. You know what I'm saying? And that's guys, if you want to know what started to happen to the defense in the 2019 season, going through the stretches of games, we started losing our depth. It wasn't that we were losing the starters, we were losing some of them too, but we started losing depth, and the depth was so great. It was like they didn't even know that a starter wasn't on the field. And that's what Mike is saying. That's how underrated Ronald Blair was, because they didn't even know who he was, right? Listen, man, I love that pick. But my most underrated player goes to the guy, the face of the franchise, if he's the face of the franchise, and that's Mr. Jimmy Garoppolo. So, guys, I can't stress the fact enough how many times we have backed quarterbacks. And when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo, it's like we can't back him. Now, the league is already, crapping all over him, saying, oh, he's Tom Brady's bus boy, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. He can't do this, he can't do that. Got it. We also know he's come in off of a season-ending injury last year. He's played all games this year. How do you guys feel like that this guy is not going to be the best player on the field each week in and week out? Like he has no choice. Like that's his job. Like his and here's the thing I love about I became a Jimmy G fan when he was faced. I became a Jimmy G fan last season more than anything. And here's why. I'm a type of guy that just loves adversity, man. I'm like when I come against adversity and all the stuff is going down on me, I don't know, I just do better. And I felt like Jimmy G is that type of a player, and he's only going to get better. And here's the key to Jimmy G's success for the 49ers and the NFL. Every player in the locker room loves him. If you ever listen to the 49ers players, from the defensive players to the offensive players, they are talking about Jimmy G. I've never seen in my lifetime a cornerback don't talk about my quarterback. I never, ever, I didn't even know that the offense and the defense talked. Like, I always thought they went through separate tunnels and they didn't speak. If you watch stuff on the sideline, you will see teams not speaking. I watched Peyton Manning cuss out the defense and the defense try to fight him. That's Peyton Manning, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Here's my thing. Jimmy G is loved. The love in that room is crazy. I think he's the most underrated player. I know I'm super passionate about it. I just think he's just underrated, man. And I know his stats aren't top numbers. Like, he didn't have the most passing yards. But didn't Mike say earlier in the show, well, hey, man, if you could run the ball 8,500 yards, why you got to throw it? Like, if it's work, it ain't broke, don't fix it. Listen, man, 5 minutes from a Super Bowl victory. It was 5 minutes. And no, he couldn't get those passes off. I get it. All right, we can go through that. I get it. But listen.
You're right, man.
Like, he's just underrated in my opinion, man. And that's what I got. All right, we moving on. All right, so now we're going to go to best player.
Well, let's do what Mark's comment.
Oh, my bad. I missed it. Sorry, Mark.
It's all good. He says, guys, which game this upcoming season?
Mark, will you get out of my notes? Why are you in my? Are you?
Are we gonna get to this later?
Yo. Can you read that? No, you can't read that. It's in my notes. Mark, you're a smart man. Smart man. Cinnamon. What's going on? I love my red Powerade. All right, let's just address it now, man. Let's take a pause on what we're talking about. Let's address this, because this was a question I was going to ask to you. Guys, which game this upcoming season do you think will be the most explosive game at home or on the road? I had two questions. So my question was a little different. It was more like, which game is a must-attend game at home and which game is a must-attend game on the road? But let's answer Mark's question, because these could be two different answers.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with, it's either going to be the Cowboys game or the Giants game. Giants because they play in New Jersey and just costs are inflated like crazy. I would say the Jets, but I don't think the Jets have the fan base that the Giants have. So I'm going to say the Giants over them. But an honorable mention is probably going to be the Cowboys game. That would be the most expensive, probably also because Jerry Jones and the 49ers and the history between those two teams. And every year, Jerry Jones convinces the media that his team is playoff bound. So they're looking at it as two playoff teams going at it. I'm going to go with those two.
So I'm going to go with the Giants game being the most.
Oh, shit.
It's explosive.
It says most explosive.
Yeah, explosive.
Oh, I take everything back.
Yeah, go back.
Oh, I take it all. I thought he meant expensive.
Now it says
I thought he meant what game was going to cost the most to go to. Oh, man. Oh, okay. Breezy, you go first. Let me think about this for a second. I'm sorry.
All right, so I think that the most explosive game is going to be the New Orleans Saints game. And I mean, they put up 90-something points last time they played. Listen, every time we play New Orleans, it ends at the end. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but it always ends toward the end. Like it comes down to the end, whether, oh my God, Ahmad Brooks doesn't get the penalty flag called on him for sacking Drew Brees, or, it ends with a field goal by Robbie Gould. So I think the most explosive game is going to be that, because it's week 10, right? And it's just going to be one of those games where they might just say, hey, man, let's just shoot this out, man. Let's shoot out. Let's go, Jimmy. We know you could do it. Kittle, strap up. Listen, we got weapons, y'all. And look, who on the Saints gonna be able to cover Brandon Ayuk's speed, Deebo Samuel's speed, the toughness of George Kittle? They put Marcus Williams on George Kittle. Yo, George Kittle dragged that mother sucker, yo. Like, you can put a safety on me all you want. You can try it, but it ain't gonna work. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, listen, and I know they got key weapons. They got more weapons on their on the offensive side. They got our Emmanuel Sanders, but that's what they lost the guard. So I don't know what the hell they're going to be doing. They did pick up Cesar Ruiz, right? So I just think that game is going to be explosive, man.
Another shootout type of game.
It's going to be another shootout. That's my shootout game of the year.
Okay. I'm going to go with a different one for way different reasons, actually. It's going to be after Breezy's. It's going to be a home game for the Niners. Believe it or not, it's going to be a Monday night game. It's going to be against the Buffalo Bills. Now, I got a couple of reasons as to why. I'm going to start with Kyle Shanahan's words from last year that I cannot seem to get out of my head. He said that the games that he is most excited to play are on primetime football because the entire league is watching you, and you get to show off to your peers. That is one of for whatever reason, I can't get that out of my head that Kyle Shanahan said that. He loves the idea of all of his peers watching him put on a show. Okay, so that was that. The other thing is, I think Breezy is right. I think that the Saints game is going to be a high-scoring affair, just like much like what it was last year. Then we go to the bye week, and then we come back against the Rams, right? And it's like, all right, it's Sean McVay. He doesn't want Sean McVay to beat him, but I can see him. We have to play the Rams twice every year. I can see him trying to hold something back a little bit. It'll be the second time we played them and all, but it's going to be like, this is a division opponent. I don't want to put all my cards out there on the deck and da-da-da-da-da. I can see him holding back a little bit. But then here come Buffalo Bills, right? The Bills come into town, and as of right now, they are one of the toughest defenses we're going to play all season, as of right now, based off of what they did last year. I think Shanahan's going to take that as the opportunity to show the league on prime time football, hey, this is my house. This is my team. We have the best team in the NFL. And I think Shanahan I think Shanahan handles business in that game against the Bills. I think that he's going to put up an offensive performance that we are going to sit here and be like, wow, who saw that coming?
Say less, bro. All right, man. Those are your answers, Mark 2852, man. Thank you so much for the contribution. All right, man. N9 Drag says, I agree, Breezy. He's that bull. He can throw any type of ball. If our wide receivers learn to stack the cornerbacks, you would see the deep ball like he threw at Eastern Illinois. You know what? N9 Drag, I didn't even think about that. And that is what I'm talking about. We're witnessing a birth of a dynasty, and you're going to when anything is born, you're going to go through growing pains, correct? You're gonna go through growing pains. That's just what giving life does. Like you're gonna go through some. I'm sitting here talking to my son. I don't understand why he don't want to listen. I say don't do this, and he does it anyway. And I'm just like, well, I told you was gonna hurt your hand, but you did it anyway. Like, right? These are growing pains, and I think once these receivers, and you said it, they learn this playbook. Oochie wally wally oochie bang bang, yo. It's gonna be crazy, yo. Like, just think about the intricacies that Kyle can draw up from formations, man. It's gonna be crazy, man. And Niner Drag, I totally agree with you. Cinnamon. Jimmy G is criminally underrated. I'm wearing his jersey until the hate stops. Yo, your support for your people, your 49ers is underrated. Like, it's underrated.
I hope you got a couple of different jerseys because you'll be wearing that mug for a while. It's
you better get the home jersey, the away jersey, the throwback jersey, the blackout jersey. Get them all, baby girl. Get them all.
That joint gonna stink because they not gonna ever stop hating on Jimmy. Love, I'm telling you, Jimmy is gonna be the new Tom Brady. He's the guy that everyone's waiting to see fall off. Jimmy, think about this. Jimmy has never been bad. He's never been bad. But for some reason, bro, Matt Miller said, I don't think that Jimmy Garoppolo is the type of quarterback to win you games. Matt Miller, supposedly a 49ers fan, NFL draft scout on Twitter. That's his Twitter handle. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo was the kind of quarterback that will win you games. What? What?
That's worse than freaking Adam Rank.
It's quite literally all he does. What do you mean? What do you mean? Anyway, all right, I'm off it. Sin, make sure you keep that thing starched and sprayed and bleached and get some Scotch Guard for it. Spray it all down, waterproof that bad boy.
Jersey. Don't you bleach that red jersey? Don't you? Unless it's colored bleach. I don't even know if that stuff works, man. I'm scared to buy it.
Just be ready to wear that all year long, love, because that's going to be one right there. That's my girl, Cinnamonkeys right there. So that's good stuff right there. All right. Let's keep this thing moving. All right. Is it back on me, man? I'm sorry.
No, it's on me, man. We're going to go with best player, and I'm going to give you the 49ers best player, and I'm going to put this name out here, and then I'm going to let y'all run with it. Now, I think the best player is Nick Bosa. And I know he only played his rookie year. I get it. But the dynamic that he brings to the team with the youth that he has, like, he's the most dynamic. That's hard to say he's the most dynamic player because I think that's George Kittle. I just think that he's the best player on the team, and that's going to be Nick Bosa, and I'm going to leave it at that. Go ahead, Mike. I'm going to start an argument right now.
There was low-hanging fruit there. I'm surprised you didn't take it, man.
What was the fruit? I missed it. I missed it.
George Kittle. How is George Kittle?
I know. I think George Kittle definitely transforms the team from the offensive side. But if we ain't playing defense, if he ain't getting the chances to transform that team, you get what I'm saying? Like it go hand in hand, guys.
No, I feel you.
But like, just take away Joey. Take away Nick Bosa, right?
No.
How? Okay.
I don't want to.
Well, go back. All right. So go back to 2018 without Nick Bosa. That's how I'm going to say. Right? And how did the defense do? I know George Kittle still produced, but we sure enough didn't win a lot of games.
Okay. No, I feel you, man. No, and it makes a lot of sense. Before we continue though, I want to ask you this question. Am I allowed to use a name more than once on this list?
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna have I'm gonna put best players George Kittle in. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's what I wanted to go with, but when I thought about what made me think about it was 2018. And I know Kittle produced. I said that already, right? 1,500 yards, almost 15, right? Whatever. But it just wasn't until the team didn't transform. The team didn't transform until Nick Bosa was added. And everyone had doubts on Nick Bosa, right? It was just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. He came in hurt, blah, blah, blah. He's going to be this. Yo, game 1, he was the best player on the field. Game 17, Super Bowl, in the Super Bowl, he was the best player on the field. In the Super Bowl, bro. Now, I get it. He's going to see double coverages all season long.
No, he won't. They can't. They can't, bro. they can say that's the plan. They can say that's the plan, but when the Niners come running at you with Ford, Armstead, Blair, DJ Jones, you can't double Bosa all night long.
You
That
can't.
boy's he's gonna get anywhere from 7 to 15 opportunities in one-on-ones in the game, and he's gonna take advantage of half of them. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you, man. I promise. Breezy, this comment's for you right here, man. This is from Sean Shepard, man.
All right, Sean says, "Feel you, Breeze. I keep telling Kanan stop crying. I don't care if you're if you're 4 months old for some reason. Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, I mean, he could talk, right? Kane could talk, and like Rome, like I don't understand why the whining mode. I feel like he gets it from his mother, but I don't get the whining mode. Like, just talk to me like a man, like you a little G. Like, just say it, and I got you, my guy. But he just, I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't understand it. All right, listen, that was funny. Scott Beatty. I don't know how to say the last name. Beatty. I'm thinking of where's the guy that played Dick Tracy? That's the same last name, ain't it?
Oh man, don't get me lying. That's from the 80s. That's out there, Rocket Man. I don't know.
Yeah, Rocket Man, Roger Rabbit. What you know about the
now Roger Rabbit was my joint. I have that on DVD. Yeah, man. That's my joint right there. I could talk about it. All right, never mind. I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say.
All right, no, not tonight. Not tonight.
All right, where we at, man? We got
All right, so you're on
player, right?
You gave your best player. You said George Kittle. You're on key new addition.
Oh, so this is on me.
This is on you.
Ooh. All right, so new. All right, can I?
Yep.
New addition has to be a rookie.
Nope. If it isn't love, why do you this way? Why does she stay?
Can I? I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. Can I say my key new addition is Jerick McKinnon?
Wow! What a
can that count? Does that work?
Absolutely, Warren Beatty. I knew that was him. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Like it.
Yeah.
Like it
For obvious reasons, man. The 49ers running back room is in flux right now. We let go of Breida. We still have Mostert here. A lot of people are still in denial about his role on this team and what he can do consistently. I don't know why, but it is what it is. And we have a couple of undrafted rookies that people are looking forward to seeing. And I just keep telling y'all, man, like McKinnon is somebody that Shanahan is really excited about. He don't want to let this guy go. He don't want to let McKinnon go. So I'm going to consider him a new addition.
I just watched his workout. Yo.
He looked good.
Yo.
All right.
Guess who he training with, too?
Who?
Debo.
Come on, man. Like, I'm just saying, like, look, there's something that Kyle likes about this guy. There's something there, and it's a position that we need a little bit of, we need some help with. There's a lot of guys that could have given this to, too. But I'm gonna say McKinnon. My guy's Jerick McKinnon, man.
I love it. I'm loving that you gave my guy some love, man. The Jet got some love. My keyest new addition is Trent Williams. Okay. And I went with probably the most important position in the offense. Okay. Because you lost like your all-pro bowler left tackle, right? Fan favorite, right? Now, here's my advice to my man Trent. Don't come in here trying to be a fan favorite. Just come in here and produce, my guy. You come in here and produce, the fans will buy you everything. They will take care of you. They ain't buying you shit, but they will take care of you, my brother. I promise you that. You come in here and you keep Jimmy upright, you listen. And we didn't talk about his contract extension either, Mike. And that's another thing that's for another show. Oh, snap. So I'm going with Trent Williams. Most important job on the team. He has to keep our quarterback safe. We all say after all the bad throws in the 5 minutes to our death in that Super Bowl 54 was because he just needed a little bit more time to throw passes, right? Well, in my opinion, we upgraded at the left tackle spot. You can argue with me if you want to, but we upgraded at the left tackle spot. And my keyest new addition is Trent Williams.
I like it. That's going to be a really important one too, especially if we want Joe Staley to have the kind of year that we want him to have. So I like that a lot. Jason Belair, I don't know if you wanted to write a comment in there, so go ahead and type it out. If you did, I will look for it in the chat. Breezy, the next one's on you, and this is going to be our
So my could surprise, Mike. My could surprise goes to our guy, the Jet. Like I think that he is going to be the surprise on the team, and the reason why I say that is because teams have not seen him in 2 years, right? So it's almost like getting. Now, I just want to take you guys back. All right, I want to take you guys back to the combine with Jerick McKinnon's numbers in the combine. I'm not going to talk about him. All I'm going to say is he is a workoutaholic. I don't know if that's a word. It's my word. Breezy got his own words. You follow me on Twitter. You know I make stuff up. But that guy is a workoutaholic, right? And I'm watching him train to get back. I'm watching him do his cuts, his stop and goes. Like, do you know? Listen, and I know he hasn't played in football speed yet, but he's doing it and he's doing it well. And if this guy could come back at 90%, 90%, it's going to be a fucking problem. You know why it's going to be a problem? Because the teams have not been able to prepare for Jerick McKinnon. This could have been, I just think, Kyle, this could have been something that they was like, yo, we're going to stash you for a couple of years. We're going to let these guys come in and do the, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to bring the Jet out. You don't bring the Jet out every day, my guys. You only take the Jet out when you're going on a lavish trip, when you want to be balling. Wow, I'm telling you, bro, watch out for the Jet.
Yeah, man. I completely agree with you, man. And that's why I had him as my guy for the key new additions. All right, so my could surprise player. Y'all thought I was going to do a show where I call Richard Sherman the most overrated player and not give my guy some love? Y'all thought I was going to let that go down? Huh? Could surprise? Guess what? Y'all still don't know who my could surprise player is because it is not Akello. It's going to be Dante Pettis. It's Dante Pettis. I was just hitting y'all with a teaser, man. I like to leave people on the edge of their seats, man. It's Dante Pettis, man, the best route runner on the 49ers roster. I'll say it again in case you didn't hear. The best route runner on the 49ers roster is Dante Pettis. Now, that's where I got to stop. Everything else is up to him. Everything else is up to him. But if he fixes and tightens and gets everything locked down up here, he can surprise some people, man. I'm not going to beat a dead horse about it. I think that he's got some stuff to live up to, man. His rookie year, he left me with a lot of promise. He had me coming in here like, all right, here we go. This is my wide receiver one. And then it was, hey, is Pettis still on the roster? Like that's how I was feeling afterwards, you know? And so we got to see what happens. But, hey, it doesn't get much more could surprise than Dante Pettis. If Dante Pettis comes in here and has 500 yards, every single one of y'all surprised. So stop lying to me. Every single one of y'all going to be surprised if he comes in here and has 6 touchdowns and 500 yards. You can be like, damn, I didn't expect Pettis to be back. Not after all those wide receivers we drafted. Since Dante Pettis, we have drafted 4 more wide receivers. Understand that. We have drafted 4 more wide receivers since Dante Pettis. If he comes out here and he produces just a little bit, I got to call that a surprise, man. That's my guy.
Hey, man. I'm not going to knock it. I love the pick, man. We're going to go to the take a leap category, and you get to kick this one off.
Oh, this is on me. Okay. So this is, all right, now takes a leap. It's going to be kind of like most improved to me, right? This is somebody who we've seen something, and they got to move forward now. They got to take it forward a little bit, right? So I can't include guys like, all right, I see a comment here. I can't say a guy like Jalen Hurd, right? Because it's not a leap to be taken. He hasn't done anything yet, right? So I think my takes a leap guy, believe it or not, is going to be our quarterback. It's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo for me. I see him as someone who, by the way, he can't do much better without being an MVP. Like he can't do much more than what he did last year without being an MVP. You give this guy another 700-800 yards. You give this guy 5 more touchdowns and 2 less interceptions, and those are MVP numbers, especially on a team that's going to go as deep as I think they're going to go. So my guy is going to be Jimmy Garoppolo taking a leap going into this season. He's coming forward, and he's not going to slow down, man. I really like Jimmy Garoppolo this year. So that's my guy, Breezy. Who you got for me?
Now, define take a leap one more time for me.
I have it as someone who we saw and they just take that next step forward. I
Okay.
don't have it as like a guy who's coming off of the bench and we've never seen anything. I couldn't put Jerick McKinnon there because he's done nothing. To me, taking a leap is we've seen what you can do. Now let's spring forward with what you got.
All right. So here it goes. Wide receiver Debo Samuel. Now here's why. We've seen him run jet sweeps. We've seen him line up in the backfield. We've seen him run deep routes. Remember that touchdown in the Baltimore game? I don't know if y'all was there. I was there. You know what I'm saying? This guy is only going to get better. Now, here's the thing. That doesn't mean he's going to have 1,000 yards. That's not what I mean by getting better. I'm talking about his route running. I'm talking about being able to line up in the slot. I'm talking about being able to take that ball, go across the middle. He already likes contact, right? Like, so I just think, like, the one thing I'm not worried about here's the thing I love about Debo. I like adversity, guys. I'm sorry. It's just something that just sticks to me. It warms my heart. You know, if you don't know his story, man, you know, he lost his brother. He got injured a couple of times. You know, his brother was a drug dealer, blah, 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 all that good stuff. He got injured a few times in college, man. You know, he didn't really have the breakout, you know, college career that, you know, a lot of these star wide receivers have. But he has this dog and this work ethic, you know, this mentality to where I'm going to go out and I'm going to prove to myself that I can do it. Now, see, that, my friends, is something you can't teach. The fact that he has that, I just see this dude taking the leap, man, and just getting better. Now, I could have went with a guy like Dre Greenlaw because I think he takes a leap. I could have went with a guy like Fred Warner. I think he takes a leap. I just feel like that Debo Samuel in his sophomore year, and they know he's to go through that slump. I don't see him going through a slump. I see the numbers being spread around because they have other weapons to be involved. But when I say him taking the leap, I think he becomes the leader of the wide receiver room. I said it there. Boom, I'm
Okay.
done.
Wow. Big words, big shoes to fill. Breezy, I like it. I like it, man. I like it. I like it a lot. So, okay. All right. Now we're down to our last and final category here in this. And I believe, Breezy, it's your turn to kick it off. This is a prove it year.
Now, guys, I'm going to mention a player. I'm going to mention this player, and I know I will say this. When he's not on the field, the defense struggles. And where they struggle is in the tight end game. The tight ends seem to be able to run routes right through the stack, down the middle, up seems like like I'm just like, God, this is not Madden. Where is my safety? I think for a prove it year, this is going to be for Jaquaski Tart. Why?
Okay.
Because this is his contract year. And he needs to go out there and say, I can be a 49er for some years to come. The same way Jimmy Ward. And here's why I know he's going to prove it. They brought in some monsters, not first round, second round, not even they brought in undrafted guys to play the safety position. There's already safeties there that feel like they can come in and take his spot. He's the veteran of the safeties. But you know who his boy is? Jimmy Ward. And you know what Jimmy Ward is saying to Tart? The same thing Tart said to Jimmy Ward when he was battling through his injuries. Them guys got each other, man, in check, man. And I like Tart. I think Tart played injured when he came back. I think he got rushed back prematurely, but God, Lord knows we needed him, right? I think Tart goes out there and proves it, man. And if he proves it, I think he'll get a 3-year contract with the 49ers. And I think they'll have their safety game sewed up, and they'll just keep the guys that they undrafted. Hopefully, they'll be able to stash them, man, and they'll be the next up and coming.
Okay. I like it, man. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot because, you know, our guy Scott has been going to war for Tart. I mean, Tart has been his dog. Like he's putting everything on the line for him, man. And it's, you know, I think Tart's very productive. A lot of people, if I tell you what, if Tart had 2 or 3 interceptions, nobody would be saying he's got anything to prove.
But he had more interceptions than Jimmy Ward, didn't he?
I don't think either one of them had an interception this year.
I know Tart
I think Tart's last interception was that one-handed joint in the Cowboys game. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I don't want to be telling nothing wrong, but I don't think either one of our safeties had an interception this year. I'm thinking, what was the guy's name who came in for? Was it Moore?
Moore had an interception.
I think he was the only safety to get a pick this year. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure Tart had one this year. But while you're looking that up, I am going to go ahead and give it my prove it year because we've been rolling with this thing here. And actually, somebody said it in the chat. A lot of people said it in the chat actually. So screw y'all. Y'all don't know me, but I'm going to tell y'all my truth here. In Niner Drag, thanks for the contribution here. He says, Mike, I'm going with a killer. When it comes to prove it years, right now, this is my definition. You have to prove to me that you're good, but you have to prove to me you are who someone thought you were. That's a prove it year to me. For example, I think Solomon Thomas is not a good football player, right? That's been proven to me already. I've seen 3 seasons of Solomon Thomas not being a good football player. I can't call this a prove it year. I have my definition. Now, he could change and prove me wrong, right? But that's not a prove it year for me, right? I have seen Ahkello Witherspoon play up here, and I have seen Ahkello Witherspoon play down here. You got to show me who you are. This is the prove it year, not only for myself, not only for a lot of people in this chat. This is a prove it year for the 49ers, and it's evidenced by them not drafting a single corner. Not only do I want this, the 49ers want Ahkello Witherspoon and Emmanuel Mosley to show them who they are. Prove to us that you are really bad and we need to move on. Prove to us that you were really good and you were going through something and we need to keep you. Prove to us that you're just going to be super and forever inconsistent and we'll make a decision based off of that. But whatever we see this year, this is the defining and proving moment for Ahkello Witherspoon. And that's why I'm going with him. In Niner Drag, well done, man. You got it, bro.
Amen. And you know what, guys? We saw production from Ahkello. Then we seen him get injured. Then we saw the production lack. And it was not that the production lacked, though, because he was there on those plays. It was just like, I don't know. It's like something was just like not clicking right, or he was overcompensating for someone else, or whatever it was that was in his head. It just was just like he was just not himself. Where I believe who was I listening to? And they said, oh, it was Eric Davis. He said he just got to go back to playing football. He said he got to go back to playing football. He's like, he stopped playing based off of instinct and tried to play based off of brain. No, go back to what you did best, his instinct. And we saw him bat balls down. We seen it. We know the potential is there, right? So I love that pick for the simple fact that you watched him prove it. And then it took a decline, and now he got to come back out here and show the world. Listen, I mean, I could have went with Dante Pettis here, because his rookie year, he had a good 400-something plus yards. He led the team with touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken, and he proved that he was projected to be the 49ers' number 1 wide receiver going into 2019. Not Trent Taylor, not the guys we drafted. It was Dante Pettis. If you don't believe me, go check your fantasy rankings, because he was up there with Jimmy G coming back. And then, all right.
You know, and for when you said that I couldn't name a guy twice, I was going to have Pettis as this for all the same exact reasons. You've shown me this, you've shown me flashes, and you've shown me the bottom. Prove it. It's time to prove it, you know. For all these guys who have been teetering back and forth between good and bad, this is a prove it year for a lot of people. You could have named anybody, but I had to bring my guy Ahkello in on the show. So you guys know I'm going to bat for him, and I'm going back for Dante Pettis. Those are the 2 guys I will be campaigning hard for this year. You guys know I always pick my underdogs, man. It was Quentin Patton before. It was Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne is finally getting the respect. I'm going to lay off of him now. Now it's time for me to get on another train and try to build these guys up. It's going to be Dante Pettis and Ahkello Witherspoon for me this year. So those guys could have been interchangeable on the could surprise and prove it year for me. So.
Yeah, I think I'm all in on the veterans, man. I think the Jet comes in here. I think the Jet is gonna have a prove it year. And you know what? I'm gonna throw this name out here, and you can say whatever you want. But if Jason Verrett is healthy, I'm gonna be all in on him. Like, I think he makes this squad. It's just his health. He has the physical ability to play the cornerback position, you know, with this particular team. It's just that he's not healed yet, and We just gotta hope with the extra time off due to the coronavirus, due to everything that's happening. We're hoping he's just, and a lot of this stuff is soft tissue too, injuries too, right? So we gotta hope that these things, he heals well. But Jason Verrett could be a good playmaker. Mike, this was a great show, man. Thank you for the platform, brother. This was awesome. Before we go, though, I have two people I would love to shout out on our show.
Shout out time.
All right, man. Quick story. Nick, one of our brothers, Nick, he got sent a request that someone wanted to do something for him, and then they painted Nick a picture, right? And it was a custom design picture, and I was like, Nick, I want one. And he was like, well, I'll give you guys number. So the guy's name is Avery Cortez. He's a die-hard 49er fan. Not only is he a 49er fan, his whole family is a 49er fan. His wife is a 49er fan. And she painted me this. And I'm going to try to show it to you.
Hold on. Let me bring that full screen. I got you, big dog. Boom.
And if you guys can see that now, if look, I said I want to be different. I want film strips because I like entertainment. She gave me the film strips, guys, with the Nothing But Niners. She painted that cleat, which is one of my favorite colors for the 49ers when they wore the white, black, and the gold, whatever. And then she got our numbers. So when you see the numbers from Tony, Breezy, Mike, these are our favorite player numbers. All right. Yes, Tony is a Bruce Miller fan. All right. I just wanted to put that out there. All right. So listen, I want you guys.
Nah, you can't say that. He's joking.
Okay. I'm just joking. Sorry, Tony. All right. Listen. Listen, guys. Her name is Alyssa. She has her own company. It is called Sunray _studios_design. Please go out, follow her on Instagram. That's her IG right there. She can paint you whatever it is you want, man. And she's very good. And you want to know the best part about her paintings? They're thorough, but they come super. They arrive very quickly.
I hate this guy. Oh, I'm not on mute.
They arrive very quickly. So please, guys, give her a follow. Give her a shout out. Let her know, hey, we heard about you on Nothing But Niners. And she can do whatever it is that you guys want. You can hang it up inside your 49ers caves. All right, guys. And my second shout out, man, listen, man, I don't think I give this man enough love. All right. So this is my second shout out. The designer for our clothing. He designs our website, our clothing, all the new logos, all the stuff that you guys are buying from Nothing But Niners. I want to shout out my man Lou. Listen, follow him, man. He has his own clothing brand. It's called Get 'em Boy Clothing. Get 'em Boy Enterprises is the name of his company. This is his Twitter. So make sure you guys give him a follow, man. And go check out his catalog. Not only we want you guys to support the Nothing But Niners brand, but we are under his brand. So go ahead and follow the guy that designed these shirts. You know what I'm saying? That is designing. Guys, we got hats up there now. I'm on my way. My hat should be on the way. Now they're the dad hats. They're not the 5950 hats. They're dad hats. All right, so check those out. We got visors. I know, Mike, we got visors. We got the visors, dog.
I'm gonna have them locks flowing. I'm gonna have my hang time coming through with the brim on to keep the sun out my phone. I'm gonna be.
I love it. So make sure you guys give him a follow. That's my man Lou. That's from Get 'em Boy Enterprises at Get 'em Boy, spelled out like that, man. If you need information, just hit us up in email. We'll send you the information. Guys, we had an amazing time with you guys, yo. An amazing time. All right.
Absolutely,
man.
I
didn't think the show was gonna go this far. I was all nervous and stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I get nervous. I do this for a living. I don't understand why I get nervous each and every single stinking time. But what makes it easy is that they interact with us, and I think that's the best part. And I think we owe them a show. I think we owe them a phone-in fan interaction show. So Mike, you need to get your schedule together. We need to call up Nick. We need to get Tony, and we need to have them down my heart. See, they don't know nothing about the boys. All right, so they need to call up and get on the show, man, so we can sit here and talk to them. All right, how you feel about that, Mike?
I love it, man. I absolutely love it, man. I'm all with it, man. Guys, I'm sorry I can't commit right now because I'm on call, so I don't know what my schedule is going to be like. But I promise you guys, next week, if nothing happens this weekend, I would love to do it on Saturday. One day this weekend, the weather's supposed to just up here in the Northeast. Like it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. We're supposed to get a day almost in the 80s, and then it's going to go right back to the 50s. That's the perfect time to do a phone info show when the temperature drops. But I am on call, so I can't commit right now. But you guys know if I'm available, I'm gonna be right here front and center. There's nothing stopping me from doing that. I love these things. I love these shows. And again, shout out to Lou and Avery. Much respect and appreciation for what you guys do. What you guys do for us. I know my guy Avery is a nurse. He's someone out there, and he is an essential worker too. So that's something else that Breezy didn't mention. These guys are out there and they're putting their lives on the line, risking their health, and not only their health but that of their family. So guys, respect to all of you guys. And like Breezy said, Lou, thank you for holding us down, man. We appreciate it. That's gonna be it for me, man. I got nothing else, man. Final words for you, bro.
Man, great show. Love you guys. We out, man. Let's take this home, baby.
That's it. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
Always remain faithful,
y'all. We out here, man. Peace.